It's Don here from the board. Thanks for coming along and checking out this video. So I want to say thank you to Banggood for making this video possible. However, while they've provided me the review unit that we're going to be having a look at, this is not a paid review. So all opinions that I'm about to say, good or bad, when I check out this piece of kit is entirely mine. And hopefully it'll actually meet expectations, if not better. So as you would see from the title, today we're going to be checking out a mini laser engraver. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm just going to cycle over across to my other screen first, and we'll have a look at what it's meant to actually be. And so this is what's been sent to me. You can see its current price is about 90 US. It's a 2000 milliwatt or a 2 watt laser engraver. There are other versions which are lower power and higher power, because I have seen that they do offer a 3 watt version as well, but apparently this is the one that was being sent to me. Now, what is interesting about this is that it apparently is safe because of this green glass. I don't know, it's very hard to trust that. I'm certainly not going to go staring at it more than I have to. So they don't actually provide you with any laser safety glasses. Now, laser safety is real, it's a big deal. So if you are going to be using one of these and you're concerned, it doesn't hurt to get laser safety glasses anyway, right? Protect your eyes, it just makes sense. Now this runs off main power, so you'll see it's 100 to 240 volt, 50 to 60 hertz, pretty standard. I've got an adapter for this. The thing is, its actual work area is very small. It's only 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. So if we look at it from a desktop perspective, it's actually about the size of a numpad. So I'm looking at my keyboard that I've got next to me. Yeah, it's essentially a 4 rows by 4, right? I mean, you know, it's 19 mil keycap roughly, so yeah, about 4 by 4. What is the application that Keyboards has in regards to a mini laser engraver? Well, this particular engraver, unlike say ones that you have to put on a platform, it doesn't need that because it itself will sit on something, and we'll have a look at that when I unpack it and check it out. So what I'm perceiving here is if you want to do custom wrist rests, if you want to be doing, you know, cases and things like that in wood or materials that this can actually apply engraving burn to it, then this could actually be a viable option for that. How viable? Well, hopefully we'll see very, very soon. So the kit doesn't really say what it comes with. It just shows pictures of this device. It looks like it's got some kind of, you know, moving gantry. It's got a laser focus knob that you need to turn to make sure that it's at the right height for the object that you're trying to etch. And it uses this S-carve where you can basically drag images into it, and you can do, you know, other things like add text and stuff like that. So for example, I can just drag in a picture of our logo right into this, and you'll see it just, you know, you can resize it. The software is a little bit clunky. I'm not going to say it's fantastic, but it's certainly workable. For example, if I save that and it's, you know, reduced its size, it's automatically scaled it. You can flip it, you can turn it into a negative image. So, you know, you can get a couple of different results. And once you are done with the image, then you go over to the actual engraving controls. So you can control the laser power, you know, 50% laser power, how deep you want it to burn. So it's kind of like the duration per point as it's moving along. And then there's actually an inbuilt fan, which, you know, you would want to leave on. Now, I believe that there's things that can show you where the actual etch space is, like it'll move the laser from what I've seen. And when you're happy with that, you go back to, I believe, this part and you would hit done, and what it would do is send it to the actual engraver. So now you'll notice that I've switched it over to the negative image because there's less burning to fill in this black space than if I had it on the positive image. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't know how quick or slow that's going to be. Might have to do a bit of edit magic if it's really slow. So now there is manuals available for this engraver online. So, and it also talks about the software and stuff like that to help you understand how to use it, and it's got examples. Whether these images that you're seeing here are actually reality or not, only testing. For example, are you able to actually get this quality engraving out of this device? Only testing will be able to tell. So let's go to the desktop. Here we are, and it is about the size of my head. Now, when I went to get it, I didn't realize the package was actually going to be this big because I thought, hey, it's only an 8x8 centimeter workspace. And then they went, here's your package, and I went, am I picking up what I think I'm picking up? Well, we'll find out. It's very light. Okay, here we go. So the top of it says K3. Looks like the K4 is the 3-watt version, as I mentioned. The rest of it is in Chinese, so I have absolutely no idea what it says. I'll ask my dear wife behind me. What do the ticks say? Is that black?
Black. And I don't know that one. Oh, sorry. It's probably the US version.
Ah, okay. So since I don't read really Chinese, I did recognize that was actually black, and my wife confirmed that's black, and that must be Mei. Is that Mei? Mei Huan. Okay, so that would be American plug. The box doesn't really show very much. It's just some pictures of it, and then the bottom has a barcode, which is just an SKU made in China. It kind of survived the trip okay. Oh, we got a manual. Okay, so there's a user manual, which is slightly it's slightly different, but it's in English. Okay, so that's cool. It describes with some cute graphics, and then it changes languages, so it's interesting. Okay, so we've got a power unit here, which I will be using my converter for. And it's taped. Right, so I can see already that's the laser head by the looks of it. Right there. So, yeah. As I said, it's so light that I can lift this out one-handed. Let's cut some tape. Oh, okay, the whole unit's kind of wedged onto it. I was thinking, why is it so heavy when it's just a bit of... Well, they've gone and attached that, like that, into it. So here is the actual beast. There it is. And then they've got the protective glass, though it's just acrylic, but it's got a piece of card written in Chinese, which doesn't really help. Suppose I could Google Translate it or something, but I don't know. Have a stab at that and tell me what that says. Now, there is a USB stick that comes with it that's meant to have the software in it. As being the suspicious person that I am, I'm actually not going to plug that in because I already got the firmware off the internet, and therefore it was able to be securely scanned without compromise.
You're supposed to do something with this before you
What are you supposed to do with it?
turn onto it. I'm not quite sure. You may have to retranslate it.
Alright. So, and then they actually give you some cardboard and plyboard, so you can actually check it out. And I guess this must be 8cm by 8cm templates, which we can quickly confirm. And it is indeed 8cm templates. So that's pretty cool that they actually provide you with a bit of material to get you started. Okay. I'm actually going to read the manual to see what the manual says, because I don't want to be doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Instructions: use laser can block some and protect the eyes. Screw guard to install laser shield. USB has software. Used for engraving test. Power plugged in. Connect power cable. Connect it. Install. Open software. Adjust focus of laser light. Should be adjusted to maximum size. Open the picture. Okay, so the actual software here that you see that comes with it is not S-Carve. It's actually called Laser Engraving Machine. So that's really interesting. I am going to guess that this is saying that before you use the machine, you have to install that laser guard. That is what my guess is going to be. Because that makes logical sense. Are you going to have... No. I was just thinking you might have opened up Google Translate on your phone or something. But that's okay.
I can.
Alright, so it comes with some hardware. So we obviously need to take that off. Okay. So there's some foam blocks in here that's holding that together. So I need to obviously remove those as well, because that's stopping the movement of the gantry. Yep, there's that. If you actually were going to do that. This is a team effort. Okay, so pull out some foam wedges. There we go. It's relatively modular in the sense that if something happens to that laser unit, and if you can get a replacement for that laser unit, you can just unjack that and then unscrew it and then replace it. So that's pretty cool. Some very small stepper motors that you can see here that are involved, and then there's obviously a control board with most of the electronics required on the other side with the button side. And then there's the exhaust fan at the rear. So it's a pretty basic kind of design, I'm going to say. But you know what? It doesn't matter that it is, as long as it does the job. So that's going to fit in theory. In theory? Practice? This corner down here doesn't seem to want to fit. There we go. Alright, that's better. Gave us a little tiny screwdriver. It's nice that they give the screwdriver, but I would have thought most people would be able to have a screwdriver at home without needing to actually supply that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. All-inclusive package, I guess. So the main setup on this, I guess, is going to be done once that's kind of sorted. Oh, they've given me an extra screw and nut. That's interesting. I don't see anything else that I should be attaching. Now, there's the actual power connection and the data cable. Doesn't look like there's any other screws required. So let's just put them back in the bag. I guess they're spares. Just chuck those wedges in there as well. Now, for the interest of not burning my desk, so I don't know how strong this laser power is, and if it burns through, for example, paper really quickly, I don't think I'd really appreciate that, as interesting as that would be. So I've got some paper here, and I've got a sheet of aluminium. It's a couple of mils thick. That's going to be my backboard, and I actually did have a chunk of 10mm ply spare that I'm actually going to try and use as well to replicate like wood hand rest, that kind of thing. So let's put the USB in first. Now, if for whatever reason this S-Carve software that the internet says can drive this doesn't work, then I may have to resort to using the actual USB stick that it came with. But I'm hoping that won't be the case. Okay. That's really interesting. I just plugged in the USB power and the fan's moving. So the fan's driven by the USB, whereas the actual main laser must be powered by this power unit. Okay. Now I'm just making sure. So the adapter does actually say it does take 240. So if everything goes pop, I'm not going to be very happy. Now, how much length do I have on this? Not much length at all. Okay, is that going to reach? Alright, so that will reach. So what's really interesting, now you're not going to be able to see this, but there's already a laser dot here, and I think that's a positioning dot. Now it's very bright. How on earth am I going to show this? Okay. My wife just said that it translates into Chinglish. What does the Chinglish say? The Chinglish says some kind of gibberish.
This card for laser, carving before the cards on the articles, and then rotation laser focusing. Spot in terms of light point transfer to the smallest point.
Okay, so it's basically saying before you use the laser, you have to focus it. That's what it's saying.
I don't know what the card's for.
No, I don't think the card's got anything to do with it. I think it's just a reminder that you need to focus it. Okay, so I do have a spare, and I'm just going to unjack something else. Alright, so let us try this. Hey! Okay, so the colors aren't showing very well because this is obviously that greeny color because the laser light is actually saturating the brightness of this, right? So you can see it's the same device, and I'm obviously hand holding it here, and if I turn this supposedly one way or the other, it should change the focus. But oh yeah, okay. So the focus, it's not really showing on the camera because it's saturating it, but it does the elongation cross thing. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, people who use electron microscopes probably know what I'm talking about. What I mean by that is when you are focusing a beam that uses certain lenses, you'll get a circular point, but then it'll start to elongate into one direction as it goes out of focus, and then through the middle of the focus it'll elongate into the other axis. And that's what's happening here, is the focus of the beam is actually causing that elongation shift. Okay, so we know that the actual laser positioning is USB empowered, whereas the main actual grunt is probably from this cable. So for the moment, I am just going to disable this. Okay. I'm going to put my aluminium underneath it. So it's like a purpley kind of color there that you can see. Obviously I don't want to stare directly into it. Ooh. It's almost really UV kind of range of... Oh, these cables get in the way. Okay. So let's just make sure that there's paper on it all. Okay. So now comes a moment of truth. I'm going to plug this in and hope it doesn't go bang. And if it does go bang and something happens to me, I love you all. Right, so the power supply didn't go bang, and there's a little blue light. And then... Okay, so the fan just got louder, which means I think it got a power boost from having that plugged in. Okay. All right. This is starting to get a little bit exciting. So, all right. I'm just messing with the software a little bit, but I'm just going to go back to the inverse. I want to make the size a lot smaller because I obviously don't want to burn a full size image. Okay, so let's... I'm not quite sure what I've just done when I hit that button save. What did it just do? I'm not quite sure what it just did. Ding. Alright, I can worry about that later. So we're going to hit reset. Okay, I'm going to go to locate the middle of the laser so you can put it in the box. Right, that didn't do very much. Display laser head condition coordinates, display print progress. Okay. You know what? I've got laser at 42%, depth at 39%. I'm not sure what that... Please load image. But I've got an image. Ah, okay. Alright. So I'm just going to show you what's going on over there. So I had it previously on the edit, and then when I hit done, it pushed the image across onto the control. And then now I'm not sure what it's doing. Yeah. That's the coordinates. Quick start's not very helpful, is it? Alright. Positioning. Okay, so the machine needs to be connected. Machine not connected? Right, let's try opening the software again. Okay. We need an image. Alright, let's go to... I don't even know why I'm holding this in place when I'm not even showing that camera. Okay, so we'll go done. Ooh, no. Back to edit. Save. There we go. We've resized it. We'll go done. Okay, so it certainly doesn't like that, and it doesn't seem to be connecting to the interface. If I unplug that, sometimes this connection might not be suitable that I've got on the desktop, so I will swap it. Okay, so the device definitely recognized on my computer as a device, but it's not recognizing on this. Which means I probably need this. Fingers crossed. Okay. Windows. I'm looking because I'm just waiting for the driver install to happen. And then I'm just gonna run their version of the software that was on the USB. Let's just bugger that off. Get rid of that. Okay. So, can I drag and drop images? Will it let me drag and drop image? Yes, it does. Okay. So we're going to go black and white, contrast ratio, negative. Okay, in terms of the size, rotate. Please connect device, attach device. Okay, it recognizes the device. That's good. Laser power, width. There we go. That's what I was looking for. 40 by 40. Okay, let's position that centered. Whoa. That was a little bit of a kind of scenario. Let me find another USB port. I seem to have run out of USB ports. Okay. So that's running off the USB, so let's just close that. And then I will go to the USB and I will copy that into that folder. And then I can run that. So that should be fine to run. I will unplug that. I will take this camera and I will plug the camera to this. Now, let's see if the camera works. It does. Okay. So, what happened when I put my image in and I resized it? Sorry if I'm making anybody sick with this, but so when I move, oops, connect device. Wait, but the driver was installed. What's going on? Failed to connect device. Okay, shenanigans. Shenanigans. This setup is obviously a little bit long-winded than I would have liked. Copy. Okay, so that seems to have installed again. So now but you worked just before. Ah, okay, so I just had to unplug and replug it back in. Alrighty, okay, so let's take that out. Let's put that back in. Okay, so the So the laser is in this bottom corner, and now cool, eh? That said, so that is the bottom right hand corner, I believe, of the actual picture. So I'm just gonna flip that around. I'm gonna go with black and white. Contrast laser is gonna be at 100, depth of engraving at 10. So that's actually framing where that picture is going to burn. That's really interesting because it's actually completely off center. Okay. Now that's better. Okay, so obviously when they wedged it, the motors weren't really positioned where they should have been, whereas now it is. Alright, so I'm just going to put that back in the middle again. Okay. So, we're going to hit start. See what happens. Hopefully I won't have a fire. Whoosh. That is bright as. I'm not looking at it directly. I'm watching my monitor. Because I've got the camera. So I actually don't know what it's doing. Did that even burn anything? It's just sitting there and it's like the timer is ticking, but the actual motor's not doing anything. Maybe let's hit stop. And let's have a look at it. Didn't do anything. So interesting. How about we delete that and let's input some text. Sure, AB, why not? Right, so that's what's happening there. Okay, and of course if you saw that pop up, that's our Slack channel, people chatting away in there. So I'm just going to put a bit of random text, AB, black and white, 100% laser, depth of engraving, well, I don't know, maybe let's go up to 20. Back onto the camera. Oh, I got an error. So let's say continue. It reckons it's being engraved, but nothing's happening. Let's try that again. Right, okay. So I can tell you right now that this is very frustrating because for something that seemed like it should have been a simple plug and play, install a driver, and away it goes, it is definitely not doing that. It is very frustrating, obviously, for me, because you know you've been watching me fiddle around with this for 40 minutes now, and it's just I don't know, input some text. I think that was the font menu. And let's just move that to center. Let's just go 30% because we can. Can we connect the device? Is it going to let me? No. Okay, so it's not even connecting the device. Wow. So the default software that it comes with is certainly not doing the job at all. It's quite astonishing, really. Now, yes, there is a manual, and yes, I will go back and read through it, and yes, I will try this again, but right now, I'm not going to drag this video on anymore. But first impressions is, it looks cool. It's an okay size for what it is and the potential that it has, but its interface, its usage, it's just not straight out of the box working and self-evident, means its appeal is a lot lower. Now, if I do get this working and I'm able to produce something, then I'll certainly follow up with that. But right now, for at least this video, part 1, it's a little bit on the shaky side. So I want to say thank you very much for hanging in with this 40 odd minute video while I tried to get this working. I do appreciate your support if you've watched all the way through, and I do hope that there's going to be a part 2 to this as well, so that we can actually see what this is actually capable of producing, if anything at all. So, of course, as usual, until next time, happy clacking.